Sam here. I'm gonna do a 6-month update on how I'm liking this Polaris Sportsman 450 HO. So right now you can see I've got about 230 miles on it, and we'll see what hours are. And my hours are almost 27.2, so I am over my service hours a little bit. That's why I'm up here. I'm up here to get it warmed up so I can go change the oil on it. So my 6-month warranty just expired, so I'm just gonna change it myself. So how I'm liking it so far, overall I'm happy with it. It does have a few small things that, you know, they kind of bug me, but they're not huge deals. I think one of the things I don't like about it is the shifter here. It's just a straight line shifter. It's not gated at all. So it is really easy to like overshift or undershift, especially like when you're trying to go into reverse. Like you'll shift it and you'll hit the wrong gear, you'll hit neutral or park, and then you'll have to shift it back into your reverse. And so that's kind of annoying. I think Polaris could have really put a gated shifter or a better shifter on it. The suspension, it's a nice soft ride, but it is sagging quite a bit. The suspension, or Polaris claims their ground clearance is 10.5 inches of ground clearance, and probably is right off the showroom floor. It's sagging down quite a bit now. I'm guessing I might have 9 inches of ground clearance under it because it sagged that much. So I still have the preload on the shock set at the lowest setting, so when I go home and change the oil, I might crank that up 1 or 2 notches and see if I can get a little bit of ground clearance back. I don't want to tighten them up too much because I do enjoy the nice soft ride on it. So it's a kind of a heavy machine. It handles the weight pretty well, but you do notice it when you're trying to load it and unload it on trailers and stuff. It's pretty heavy. It's right around 700 pounds. So the battery down here, I think I mentioned this in the first video, it sits right down here on the frame rail. You can see it there. I honestly haven't had any really trouble with it, but I have had it through some like sticky mud and stuff, and it just gets caked on there and covered with mud, and it still kind of makes me a little bit nervous that it's right down there and so open. But you know, I really haven't had any trouble with it. The headlights, they're, when you have the low beam on, just these front 2 headlights come on and they work really well. But when you turn the high beam on, your handlebar mounted headlight comes on and your front headlights turn off. And to me, it just shoots way too far out in front. So maybe if you're riding super fast, it might be good, but for me, it like shoots too high out in front. My neighbor has said that they do make a kit that you can wire it in together, so when you turn the high beams on, the low beams stay on too. And would have been really nice if Polaris had just done that from the factory. That would give it really good lighting at night. The foot brake down here, it's still just not in a very comfortable position for me. I still don't really like that. I don't use it too much. The single handle bar mounted brake is, I'm getting a lot more used to it. I do think I still prefer like 2 brakes on the handlebar, but I'm getting used to this and it works well. Now the 4-wheel drive system on it. So if you're used to Polaris's, you like probably know exactly how it works and everything, and you probably like it. For me, this is my first Polaris, and for the most part, I really like the 4-wheel drive system. When you got it in 2x4 here, you're just rear-wheel drive. Then you put it in all-wheel drive, and really you're still only in 2-wheel drive when you put it in all-wheel drive. So in the way their 4-wheel drive system works is your rear tires here have to slip. They don't have to slip a whole lot. I would just guess maybe an 1/8 to maybe a 1/4 turn. They've got to slip that much before your front tires will start to pull. And so when you switch it in all-wheel drive, like, you can't really tell a difference riding around, and kind of mentally you're always kind of questioning whether you're in four-wheel drive or not. When you hit the, like, I've had it in some mud, and I've purposely gone out and got it stuck in some snow drifts, and like all four tires pull, and they seem to pull really well and give you good traction. But one other area that their all-wheel drive system does not work very good is coming down steep, loose hills. So I've had some questions about if this machine has engine braking or not, and it does not have engine braking. But if you leave the throttle open a little bit, just enough to keep the belt engaged, it does hold you back really well. But when you're in all-wheel drive coming down a steep, loose hill, the front tires are moving faster than the rear tires, so you don't have four-wheel drive. And I've ran into one or two occasions where, since the rear tires are moving slower than the front on steep, loose hills, the back end will actually kind of start to slide around on you. You just put a little driver input into it and some braking, and you can get out of it easy. But just something you might want to be aware of. Things I really like about it, I really like the gauges that Polaris put on here. It shows up, it's really easy to read. It's blue or red backlit. You can set it how you want it. It's got everything on there you need, and it's easy to see and scroll through and everything. All their controls are easy to reach and easy to get to, so that's nice. The front box here, I've heard people say that they've had like trouble with it leaking water and dust in there. I haven't really had any trouble with that. It's stayed dry and pretty dust free. I think most of the dust in there is just from dusty gear that I've been throwing in there. I do has had a rattle. I hear this is pretty common. I'll show you what it is. So right here, here's your air box right here. Your air intake comes up, and just the lip of it right here is right under your gas tank here. And so it will kind of slap and hit the bottom of the gas tank and make a kind of a slapping noise. The first time I heard it, I thought maybe I was having valve trouble, but I pulled the seat off and you could see it vibrating right there. So haven't done too much about it yet. It hasn't got too annoying to me yet. So the seat just doesn't have a seat latch or anything, which I kind of wish it had a latch. It just goes in there and then pushes down to secure it. So far it's been okay, but when you're hauling in the back of the truck, it would be nice just to have the security of having a latch hold it actually on there. The one thing I really like about it is these side panels are fully enclosed, so you really don't get much heat from the engine here. Like, I've ridden around in pretty hot temperatures in the upper 90s, and I've been wearing shorts, and your legs don't get burned or anything. You can actually put your leg right up against here, and it's warm, but not enough to burn you or anything. So, and then when you've been riding it and then little kids come around, they can climb on it. You don't have to worry too much about them burning themselves on it, because that's all covered up on both sides and it's not hot enough to burn you. That handles really well. It rides nice. It feels like a nice stable bike. I've only really felt tippy on it a couple times, and those were on some pretty nasty side hills, so any bike would have felt tippy on those. Nice comfortable bike to ride all day, and the fuel injection system seems to work really well. I've had it up to almost 10,000 feet, not quite, but I've had it up at some pretty high trails, and it doesn't have any issues with that. The power on it, I'm not quite as impressed with the power as when I first got it, but that being said, I'm not saying that it lacks power. It's just not you can't expect like 1000 cc or the big bore power out of this. It's just not there. But for just about all trail riding and everything, it's got plenty of power. It's got get up and go. Anything else about it? I think that's just about everything. It's been fun. Some of you guys are saying you can get this 2018 450 for around $4,000. I think that would be a killer deal on it. Like, I paid quite a bit more for that. I paid closer to the MSRP, which is $6,000. But I do live out in Utah, and everything's super expensive out here. I don't know why, but everything seems to be expensive. But I am happy with it for the price I paid. So if you could get it for closer to $4,000, I think you'd be super happy with it. But anyway, I just thought I'd give you an update on how I'm liking it. Hope you guys have a good day. Be safe out there. Bye.